Hey there, everybody. We're two oil and gas sales guys based in Houston. We've been in the industry for a while and we've got a pretty big network. And this is a podcast about our network and what's going on in the oil and gas industry.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Justin. And welcome to our podcast. Episode 1. All right. Today we are going to be Zooming with one of our special guests, and it's Cameron Kirkpatrick, and he's a founder and CEO at Wyre, and he's up in, I think, Fort Worth today. Is that right, Cameron?
That is correct.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. We're just going to spend a couple minutes chatting with you. There's a lot going on these days. Let's put it that way.
Tons.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we just want to talk about what's been happening and then maybe get your take on what's been happening with your company and what's going on in the future. So for our audience, maybe we start out with a bit about yourself and your company, and you can tell everybody what you're doing and how you got to where you are.
Yeah. Well, first, thanks for having me on your podcast today. It's an honor to be on here. My name's Cameron Kirkpatrick, and I am the founder and CEO of a company called Wyre. Long name is Wireline Transformation. We set out to transform the wireline industry. I've been in the perforating manufacturing business and wireline service space for the past 12 years. Fortunately, I got to ride the roller coaster through 2008, 2009, and again through the 15, 16, 17 time frame. So this is just another down cycle that we're going through. But Wyre is a wireline service provider. We offer several different services in the space, anywhere from pump down perforating to vertical perforating, packer setting, pipe recovery, logging, whether it be production logging, open hole, cased hole, you name it. So anything that you need done with the wireline truck, that's what we do.
Where exactly do you work? Are you more focused in West Texas, the Permian? Are you all over the states?
Yeah, so we kind of run all over Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, and Southeast New Mexico. Currently, we have trucks running in South Texas, and as well as East Texas and North Louisiana at the very moment.
Okay. So let's get right to it. Today, as we speak, we just had our Harris County judge tell everybody in 12 hours there is going to be a lockdown. You in Dallas County, I think, is Fort Worth Dallas County?
No, Fort Worth is Tarrant County, but Tarrant's been following Dallas County pretty swiftly as Dallas makes these new moves. And Dallas has had a shelter in place for several days already, and Fort Worth just instated one today.
Right. So let's back up a couple weeks. How have you, as CEO for Wyre, had to deal with all of this the past 3 weeks and take us up to right now? What's going on?
Because there was multiple phases, right? I mean, geopolitical madness, and then obviously COVID-19. We adjusted once and had to adjust again pretty quickly. But you have a company, so I think people would be interested in, you wake up, you're the CEO, and you're like, oh my God, I've got employees. What do I do? Yeah.
No, it's been a roller coaster of a few weeks. And, it really kind of we started seeing oil prices slide a bit just from the COVID-19 fares and the impact it's having on demand. So that was the first thing we started to see slide. And I think we slid down into a lower $40 trading range. And, that started to scare some of the E&P companies right off the bat, and they started cutting CapEx because of that. And then the next thing you know, you have Saudi and Russia come in and say they're going to increase production and flood the market. And that's what slid it down into the $20 trading range that we're in now. And I don't see that turning around until we do restore demand and figure out what the production limits are going to be for Saudi and Russia. Immediately the weekend that news broke, we had to get on the horn the next morning and just start getting in front of customers and start trying to head this off and try to understand, hey, what kind of work do we still have available to us and what kind of work is going to be going away, and how do we right size our company now so that we can preserve cash and really just hunker down and weather the storm. We don't know how long it's going to be, but we immediately went into right sizing the company, right sizing the payroll, really just cutting costs at every corner of the business that we could, that without having to jeopardize the quality of the services we provide. And, it's still, there's still a lot of uncertainty, and there's still a lot of unknowns for our business. And a lot of it, we'll see kind of how things pan out over the next few weeks. We'll see if the government stimulus packages support our space of the industry, and gives relief to some of the shale producers to get them active and picking frac fleets back up and putting people to work again. So still a lot yet to see here, and we're just kind of taking each day as it comes. And we're luckily we're a smaller and nimble company, and we can react quickly, and that's kind of one of our lead differentiators at the moment, is we have to act quick.
So Cameron, as a manufacturer, who is your end user? Is it the operators themselves?
Well, so as a manufacturer, Wyre is not in the manufacturing space now. That was a previous company I was a part of, which was Geodynamics. Yep. So, but the end user actually of the consumable products is, of course, us as a service company. We provide that service, and we are the last ones to use it, but we're using it on the shale producers' wells.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah. So you mentioned reaching out to your customers immediately, and Justin loves to use the analogy of everybody got into this car wreck. It's hazy. There's glass everywhere. And they're trying to stumble and figure out what's going on, right? So you're calling your customer. They're tangled in this web as well. All of a sudden, you can't take them to Starbucks to get a coffee. Yeah. You can't take them to lunch. You can't even set up a meeting to go into their office. Everything's done virtually, just like we're speaking now. So how did you overcome that challenge as well?
Well, we've had to get creative. So we've done a lot of video virtual sales calls for our customers, and I don't want to give all our secrets away, but we have, we've
give us secrets.
We've been asked to rebid a lot of work over the past week, 2 weeks. And, I like to get in there, and I like to get in front of the customer and be face to face and see them. And so, with the social distancing from COVID-19, we've started recording our sales calls and recording the presentations of presenting these different bids, and then sending those over to the customers to try to be as personal as we can.
Yeah, no, that's a great step.
And the feedback on that has been pretty good so far. So, we'll keep doing that, and we'll just have to keep finding creative ways to connect with our customer base, and continue to support them as we all kind of walk through this haze together.
That's actually something I didn't even think of. And I'm a sales director, and I've got a team, and Mike's on the team, and we're always looking at ways to improve our interaction between our clients. And talk about a great opportunity. If you just hit that record button, because you've got everything set up, you can look at your team and go back and go, okay, this was good, this was bad, we could do a better job here. That's interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can certainly critique yourself after the fact.
Yeah.
So and I think it'll this is going to lend us to working more virtually in the future, even in the energy space. We're going to figure out ways to connect in more of a virtual manner, and it's going to cut out additional costs in our business as well from the traveling and entertainment side.
Right. Hey, just for our viewers so they know, so we're setting this podcast up. We're getting used to how we do it. And the way we were set up in the studio is we're looking at Cameron on a video. So if you see us and we're kind of looking up and to the left, that's because we're looking at him. We want to actually see his face talking. So as we get better, we'll look at you here, but we're also looking up at the TV. So we're getting used to everything, right?
Mechanics.
It's
like my golf game. It's terrible now, but it'll get beher with practice.
There we go.
Getting acclimated.
That's it.
Takes a little time.
So the tips and tricks, and you were talking about with your sales team and rebidding. Mike, we know all about rebidding.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Every day is RFQ season.
Right now it is, for sure. But it's a necessary evil. You want your customers to know that you want to partner with them, and to be a good partner, one of the things that you have to do is be empathetic in these times, right? So going back, rebidding is mutually beneficial to the sense that you can still secure the work, maybe even get the cash on the front end versus the back end by providing those discounts. Gets a little bit of cash flow going, but at the same time, you're doing the customer a solid by being a little bit more economical on the pricing, right?
That's it. You know, and our strategy right now is just to break even in the field, break even at the wellhead. You know, we're in a fortunate position where we have a very low G&A. So what we're trying to do for our customers is we're trying to squeeze every penny out. We just want to keep the guys working. We're going to make, you know, we want to be able to service our equipment the proper way, so we can provide a good service to them. But the rest of it, we're just, we're here to tread water until we get to the other side. And that's our strategy there.
It's a great strategy. I mean, I've been witness to some downturns myself, obviously. And one of the biggest things is losing the people that you don't want to lose, but you're forced to at times where you're pinching every penny and you can't squeeze blood out of a turnip, right? So hanging on to them, even if it means being cash flow neutral, I think it's a great first step, maintaining market share. And I mean, and hustle and grind and just be there for your customer. I think that's the most important thing you can do. And we'll hear some other stories from people that, you know, aren't as lucky as we are, right?
Right. Yeah. And, you know, those people, I would say stay tuned to see what the stimulus plan that the government rolls out over the next few days has to offer, because I think it's going to have something in there for not only small businesses and but also, you know, the everyday, all the workers that are getting laid off right now. So, you know, I would say there's no better time, I guess, to be laid off in the energy space than right now, because we do have all the additional government aid that's coming in due to the COVID-19. So, you know, our oil workers are always in a cyclical business, and so they understand kind of the nature of the beast and the cycles of you know, the feast and the famine and the hiring and the layoffs. And usually they don't get the protection I think that they hopefully will be offered now, just in the wake of everything else that's going on.
Hey, well, we're going to wrap up here. We don't want to bore our audience too much with us. You are the entertaining one, which is why we brought you on, so we appreciate that. Just as we get out of this podcast, can you just let everybody know what your website is, so if they want to go to Wyre, they can?
Absolutely, yeah. www.wireline.com, WYRELINE. And you also follow us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, all the outlets.
Awesome. Well, Cameron, we really appreciate it. Thanks for joining us today. And to all the audience, thanks again for sticking with us, and tune in next time.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.